I'm Alex DelSordo, and with me is Shane Farmer, the founder of Dark Horse Rowing, and we are talking about breakdowns. All right, we're doing Masters men, Masters women, Open women. And Shane, tell the audience who you are. Give a breakdown of who you are.
So I'm Shane Farmer. I own Dark Horse Rowing. Dark Horse is the world's largest rowing resource, just point blank. We tend to focus towards the indoor rowing world, and we provide basically training on the entire vertical there. So if you're a coach and you want to learn how to coach rowing to others, or if you're an athlete and you want to learn how to use the machine, that's what we do best. And that's why we're here.
I love it. Now, for the audience watching, he clearly has a better setup than we do. And gosh darn it, you know. But here we are today. I want to talk about indoor rowing, this global championship. Shane, you are a proud sponsor of this event, and we are talking about Masters men. Now, there's a couple of really interesting breakdowns, and you, a fitness guru, a fitness freak here, I want to talk about the age gaps. Okay, we got Mark and Aaron. There's a 9-year gap between those two guys, and my money tends to be on the older rower, the person who's been doing it the longest with the handicap. In the world of fitness, who has the upper hand here?
When it comes to fitness, it's the person who, in my opinion, has spent enough time becoming the jack of all trades that they can be dangerous in every category. And that's probably what you're going to find as the event plays out, is who has the largest base underneath them. Because there's one thing to be a rower, then there's another to be just a raw strength athlete. It's a whole different ballgame to be able to toe the line between those. So I think that's what you're going to see sorted out, is who has done the best job of building a strength foundation and building an erging foundation.
So today, well, it's due Friday, but the scores are going to be 1 minute all out. Okay. So we got guys like Graham Benton, who's a freak of nature in his 40s, still going sub 550. What are your predictions for a split for this guy? Like, how low do you think this guy's going to go for a 1 minute?
I mean, somebody who's going 550, let's just call it 5. Let's just call it 6 minutes. Just somebody who's going 6 minutes. Sure. There's something to be said for your ability to go hard and fast for 1 minute versus over 6 minutes. There's that 6 minute distance that is just such an unbelievable resilience test. That 1 minute, you can see a lot come out of the woodwork where you might not expect it. And maybe even if you were to watch it on video, you're like, oh, that makes my stomach hurt watching that. But they can still pull it off because 1 minute is just 1 minute. So when you're looking at splits here, I mean, if we're seeing down in the low 1 teens, I mean, that's not unheard of, and it's not unprecedented to see that pop out here.
And for a guy in his 40s approaching 50, it's impressive, right? Like,
yes,
your engine is just different than anybody else's.
Yeah,
right?
100%. Your engine, your body, it's just built to be able to handle that kind of a load. It's impressive at any age.
I agree. Now, any age, you transitioned me perfectly into a 72-year-old beast, Graham Spittle from the UK. I mean, this guy is surprising the field. Now, he has the best handicap right now, right? But at the 1 minute, I mean, I would have to think that we're going to say goodbye to the 72-year-old man this week, because how much power can a 72-year-old produce? Let's be real.
I mean, the real question here is, how much old man strength can somebody draw on? I mean, that's the bigger question here, because that's a real thing. I feel like old man strength, that's a legitimate, he can lean on that.
Like, he's like old strength. Like, is there a
just like old man strength stops at 65, and then it's just
it's gotta be. The last guy I want to talk about is Cameron, out from Australia, a 2-time Olympian, just turned 40. Now, you would think in this world of rowing that he'd have the advantage, because, I mean, Olympic medalist, right? Just turned 40, so he's got that old man strength, but he's got
like in his prime. Towing on the end of his prime.
If you had to predict who would win, Graham Benton, the 48-year-old monster, 47, whatever he is, or the Olympian, where's your money?
Well, okay, so now I'm going back to their scores in the last round just to see where the two of them stand. We're talking about those two head to head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to have to give it to Graham Benton. Yeah. It's amazing to be able to say, wow, you've got that Olympian pedigree coming into this. but it's a whole nother to have the pedigree of somebody who knows what it's like to just grind by themselves on the machine. And that's the only reward you're used to. I think that level of grit probably gives Graham the leg up in this.
So we're going to close with this because it's interesting. Like you talked about it earlier, how there's different distances in this tournament, right? So they would theoretically see each other at 750. Now, Graham Benton 750 or Cam at a 750 are two different athletes. If it was a 7-minute race, I'm going to go with Cam, right?
Sure.
Or if it's like a 6K, right?
Yeah.
But that weird 2.5-minute distance, it's the indoor rower all day. Like it has to be.
100%.
So that's it for us here at a Masters Men Breakdown. Shane Farmer, thank you for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.